Ranked play launches today in Modern Warfare 3, so let's talk about the weapons and classes the pro players use that you're going to need to know about for the playlist. For the sake of this video, we're only going to be talking about the 3 weapons the pro players do use, which is what most people in ranked play are going to be running anyway. And then for formality's sake, I'm going to be linking to Breaking Point's website because that's where I'm getting my information from their updated GA and ban list. So if you want to follow along at home, click the link that's probably going to be in the pinned comment or my description, or if you just want to take a more in-depth look yourself, it's going to be in the same place. And then quick shameless plug for myself, I do upload every day to this channel and I'm definitely going to get bored of using the meta weapons, so if you want to see different weapon builds that'll work in ranked play, come back because that's kind of my thing. But now that the content creator cringe is over, let's look at everything we need to know. So as far as the vests go, you're probably just going to want to stick with the infantry vest because it increases your tac sprint duration and reduces the refresh time, means you can just get places way quicker. Now moving forward to the tacticals, the wording on Breaking Point, which is what I'm basing most of what I'm saying off of for this part, is a little goofy because it says the flash grenades are going to be banned by default by the rule set, but then if you scroll down it says that flash grenades are allowed for play. I don't really know where that leaves us. I'm just going to say that you should use the stun grenade instead. The pro players have only agreed to use smoke grenades very limitedly on like 1 or 2 maps in Search and Destroy, but I guarantee people in ranked play are just going to throw these things at their feet in hardpoints and make everything chaotic, so it's an option to use this, but if you have any sense of honor, please don't do that. Moving along to the lethals, the frag grenade or the semtex are the only ones you can really use here, so I'll leave that up to you, whichever one you use. I tend to prefer frag grenades. To the field upgrades, the only usable ones are going to be the trophy system or dead silence. AR players are generally going to be the ones running trophy systems, while the SMG players are going to be the dead silence players. Just know you're going to be a better teammate if you run the trophy system. The quick grip gloves just make life more convenient if you're swapping weapons a lot. The marksman gloves are going to be better for AR players because you're going to be L-triggering and ADSing a lot, which means you're going to have less weapon sway while you're ADS and less flinch while you're getting shot at. The lightweight boots, they make your base movement speed faster. The climbing boots, they make you better at climbing. The running sneakers increase your tac sprint duration and reduce the refresh time, very similar to the infantry vest. I do not know if those stack or not. The tactical pads are better for people that slide cancel because it gets rid of the tac stance sideways gun thing. The stalker boots are going to be really good for AR players that spend a lot of time holding iron sights because they increases your strafe speed. And the covert sneakers are dead silence. You're going to probably have to run these in Search and Destroy. And moving on to the final category, gear, the best ones to use are going to be tac mask. This protects you against stun grenades, or the EOD padding, which protects you from explosives like the grenades. Next, let's talk about the Renetti because this is going to be the pistol you're going to have to run as your secondary, and the class that's on your screen is based off of everything I could find from Breaking Point's GA list, where it basically says you can't use any bullets that make the gun stronger, can't use suppressors, you can't use anything that makes it a one-shot melee, you can't use the conversion kit, and you cannot use a Kimbo or any trigger that increases rate of fire. The EXF Excelsior grip movement speed is going to be the biggest buff here because you want to get around the map quicker. You can take it or leave it, but some people like to run a slate reflector on their pistol. The MLX short competition barrel makes the gun faster once again with sprint to fire, aim down sight, and movement speed. And then for any recoil control mitigation you might need, I generally prefer the DZS open compensator, horizontal, vertical, and gun kick control. And we have finally made it to the part of the video which I guarantee is the only part people cared about. If I look at my analytics, this is definitely where the viewership is going to spike and the retention is going to be at. The attachments that generally are not going to change are going to be the 16.5-inch MCW Cyclone long barrel and then the RB Regal heavy stock. As far as the optics go, the most preferred ones are going to be the Mark III reflector, the slate reflector, or if you're an absolute lunatic, the NIDAR Model 2023 optic. There is zero tactical or statistical advantage to using this. It just looks stupid and it'll make someone mad, I guarantee it. And then the last 2 attachments can change, but they're going to be very dependent on which attachment you're using. For example, if you're using the T51R billeted brake, generally the underbarrel you're going to use is going to be the DR6 hand stop. The billeted brake is really heavy on vertical recoil, but it hurts your damage ranges. The alternative attachment people do use here is going to be the L4R flash hider. It does not hurt your damage ranges. It's minus 13% to every recoil category, but it does hurt your ADS speed, but that's not that big of a penalty. However, if you run the flash hider, generally the underbarrel you're going to want to use is going to be the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop. Or alternatively, if you want a faster AR option, you can run this build. I tested this out a few days ago in its own video. If you want to go check it out, it's on my channel. The thought process behind this build is that the MCW is never going to have bad recoil, so stacking it with recoil recoil reduction attachments at some point becomes meaningless, and since we're not running a muzzle, its damage ranges or mobility aren't going to be hindered in any way. The RB Claw PSL grip offers recoil control across the board with no downsides to anything else that matters. The MCW Ironbark tactical stock offers better aim down sight and sprint to fire speed at minimal recoil penalties. The Cyclone long barrel's kinda needed. You can either use the DR6 hand stop or the X10 Phantom 5 depending on whatever one you like better, and then you can use whichever of the three optics we talked about earlier. I like the slate reflector on this build personally. And finally, we have made it to the Rival 9. This class is saved as Pro SMG because there's really only one version of this class that people are gonna run. Purifier Muzzle Brake S, Rival C Clear Shot Barrel, MTZ Marauder stock, Rival 9 Assault Grip. Those four attachments are basically just not gonna change between any player. Most people run the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop. Some people run the DR6 hand stop. That's gonna be up to your personal preference. But a random wild card that I've been seeing being thrown around is gonna be the FTAC SP10 Angled Grip. It makes the horizontal recoil really good so you can only focus on the up and down recoil, which there's not really a lot of.
Taking effective fire.
Finish it. Securing objective Alpha.
Taking effective fire. Drop. Taking fire. Reloading. Fire! Wolf! Target down. Contact. Drop. Taking fire. Taking effective fire. Throwing grenade. Changing mag. Contact.
Be in the area. The enemy has captured 2 objectives.
Taking
Get them
fire.
secure.
Contact.
They're taking Alpha.
Taking effective fire. Go. Grenade. Go.
Prove yourselves.
Target.